Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this video, we will learn about looping in programming language, and we will discuss the first iterative command, which is for. The learning objective of this video is that students know about how to use for in iterative process, and then students know how iterative command for will work. Let us begin by discussing the introduction of repetitive command. In real world, it is common that people do the same works many times, or we call as repetition. Therefore, programming language must facilitate a mechanism to do this, because it is inefficient if the repetitive processes are written manually in the program one by one. And programming language has automation for repetitive processes using commands, namely for, while, and do while. And in this video, we will discuss the first command, which is for. So let us see a first example here. Here I have two programs, and the first program, it is a repetitive process. However, it is written manually, so you have to write one by one, line by line. In the second program, we can do this repetitive process automatically by using for. So here I have for, and then I have a few of parameters here, and I will do cout. This will be a repetition, so the I, it is from 1 until less than 5, so it means that it is 4 if we increase one by one. So it will come cout 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is also valid, the second iterative command. We put the declaration of this counter, we will call this as a counter, or the index for doing the repetition. We declare this variable inside of this parameter, the first parameter. This is also valid, and the cout will be cout 1, 2, 3, and 4, because this is less than or equal to 4. In iterative command for, when programmer write iteration, they must have at least one element that is a true condition where the iteration will be executed. In for command, there are three parameters, as we saw in the previous example, that we have three parameters, and the first parameters is the initial value of the counter, which we call a variable I in the previous example. But actually you can use any variable rather than I, so you can J, K, L, any variable name. And this counter must be an integer. The type should be integer. And then the second parameter is the true condition of the counter. So the second parameter that we see in the previous example, this is the condition. If this condition true, then the statement will be executed. Okay, suppose I is equal to 1 for the initial, and then it will be checked whether I is less than 5. So 1 is less than 5, so it is true. Then we see out this, see out 1. And then what is the third parameter? The third parameter is the increment or decrement of the counter. So let us see here that this is I plus plus. It means that this I for the initial is equal to 1, and then it is less than 5, so this is true. Then this cout will be executed, and then after this execution it will go to this third parameter. When it go to the third parameter, then this I will be plus plus, so it will be increased by 1, so this will be 2. And then it go back again, checking the condition whether 2 is less than 5. Is it correct or not? Yes, this is true. Then it will do the cout again. After doing the cout I, which is 2, then it will be increased again. The I will be increased by 1, so it become 3. Again and again until I equal to 5. When I equal to 5, then it will be checked with this condition: is 5 is less than 5, so this is false. Because this is false, then this loop will be ended, so it will go to the next line. Okay, when it is false, then the loop will be stopped. So this is the same, that the parameter for comment, we have 3 parameters here. We'll see next example. In this example, I have 2 program. The first program that I have variable I, and I will use this as the condition for the loops. So this condition is that for the first parameter I give blank without any parameter, and then the condition is that as long as I not equal to n, then do this. As long as I is not equal to n, then we do the statement. I don't have the first parameter and the third parameter because the initial parameter is from here. Okay, so this loop show you that all the parameters in for, it is not compulsory. You can only put this second parameter only like this. So this program will print this again, and then it will wait the input from the user, whether the user will input y or n, and the input will be stored in this I. Suppose I put y, so I will be equal to y, and then it will be checked with this, the condition in the second parameter of this for. So y is not equal to n, because this is correct or this is true, then it will come again. Then if you put n, then I will be equal to n, from here, then it will be checked whether I is not equal to n, because I is n, so I should be equal to n. So this is false. Because this is false, then the repetition is stopped. How about this one, the second program? So in this second program, I put the initial of I inside of the first parameter. So here I initially will be y, and then this y is not equal to n, then we execute this. If the user put y, then this y will be inserted or will be assigned to I, and it will go to this parameter. It will be checked whether I is not equal to n. This is correct or this is true because I is equal to y. Then it will come again. And here, when you put n, then n will be assigned to I. After that, it will be checked with the second parameter. So this is an example that all the parameter is not necessary to be provided for using for. And then you can also do nested for. So here you can do for repetition comment inside of another for. So we can say that this is nested for, loop inside of the loop. This is only 2 level. You can add 3 level, 4 level, and so on. There is no limitation about the level of this nested for. Okay, here I want to give you the explanation. If I have only one statement, I can put the curly bracket, or I can also avoid this curly bracket if it is only one statement. But if you have more than one statement, you have to put this curly bracket. Okay, now I hope you can answer the quiz. The first question is, please mention the use of 3 parameters in for. The first parameter will be the initial counter, initial value of the counter. And then the second is the condition to do the loop. And then the third is the increment or decrement. Of the counter. And then the second question, are all the parameters in for compulsory? So as I told you before, that all the 3 parameters are not compulsory. The answer is no. Okay, let us go to the next video.